You guys might be called Suckamaniacs, but me, I'm a Marty Friedman maniac. Greetings, Suckamaniacs, and welcome to another installment of Weekend Wankshop, here with the old pal, Uncle Ben. First order of business this week is to congratulate my true Suckamaniac, Andrew O'Connor, for winning the first ever This Is Why You Suck at Guitar Weekend Wankshop giveaway contest. You guys might recall from last week's episode that I was giving away a pair of custom swirl-painted holiday ornament balls to whoever could shred that lick the hardest. And Andrew put his entry up on Instagram, and it was smoking, so he wins. There's lots of other good entries too, though. The whole thing went really well. I might start doing contests, things like this every now and again and give away like free strings or picks or even free lessons or something like that. So keep an eye out and keep putting your entries in, and if there's enough interest, I just might do that. Anyway, be sure to go add Andrew on Instagram. His username is Amidst the Storm. He's got some cool Ibanez guitars and some really, really great chops. So yeah, check that guy out. He's pretty sick. And Andrew, be watching that mailbox for a package of my balls heading straight for you. I'm in middle school, so that's still funny to me. Today's lick comes straight from the hands of Marty Friedman himself. You guys will know Marty Friedman from his solo career as well as his work with Cacophony and, of course, Megadeth. He's one of the coolest lead players that there ever has been, in my opinion. I love his vibrato and his phrasing. Cool, exotic arpeggio and scale use. He's got it all. He's a really cool player. This is one from the song Architecture of Aggression by Megadeth. It's the first lick in the solo. It's based around the F-sharp minor pentatonic scale. And while it's not the craziest lick that he's ever laid down, the reason I wanted to show you this, guys, is because licks like this are more flexible than your mom was in college. You can use these minor pentatonic licks in pretty much any genre of music. The pentatonic scale can be heard in, blues music. It can be heard in jazz music, heavy metal stuff, gospel, bluegrass, pretty much anything. So if you learn how to throw around a couple of cool minor pentatonic licks, you can show up at pretty much any gig and toss these licks in and it'll work. Here's that tasty lick again at stepdad speed. Alright, meow kids, let's dig into this lick here and see what's up, see what makes it tick. It's based around an F-sharp minor kind of sound. It's more like an F-sharp minor riff, but whatever, it's got that tonality to it. But the cool thing about licks like this is that it's very easy to move them into any other key. So if I was playing an E minor, I could just take this lick that I already know and transport it to the E minor pentatonic scale and use it in that key really easily. So again, licks like this in the minor pentatonic are very easily made mobile just by moving that box pattern wherever you need to. So F-sharp minor is the tonality we're working with. And the F-sharp minor pentatonic scale is made up of these notes: F-sharp, A, B, C-sharp, E, and F-sharp. In your kind of typical minor pentatonic box pattern, that relates to these fret numbers on the strings. I'll go through them low to high here. On the low E, 14, 17. On the A string, 14, 16. D string, 14, 16. G string, 14, 16. B string, 14, 17. High E string, 14, 17. But in our case, all that we're going to be using here is the top two strings. So 14, 17 on the B, 14, 17 on the high E. I point out the rest of the scale pattern, though, because I think it's always important to know the big picture of whatever scale fragment it is that you're working from at that time. So think about that. Okay, this lick is going to feature one really important thing that we're doing with our index finger. It's going to feature kind of a bar like this on the top two strings. So I'm barring the 14th fret B and the 14th fret high E. That makes this lick a little bit easier. That way you're not having to jump around like this the whole time. So we're going to be using both of those notes quite a lot. Now, there's a really important thing I'm doing with my pointer finger for licks like this, and you'll see this all over the place in fast blues lick and classic thrash metal kind of licks and stuff like that. The tip of the pointer finger here is muting the G string. Again, that's not coming from this hand, it's coming from the left hand here. Watch what happens when I move my finger down. There's the G string ringing out. There's the G string muted. I want to just barely poke it. I don't want to bar it. That makes more notes happen. I don't want that. I just want to mute that string out. because these bends that we're going to be doing are going to knock that G around a bunch. And if you're not muting it out like this, you're going to be hearing that G string squawking out every time you do one of these bends, like that. So it's important to get this position down really well first. We should have high E14, B14, and just a muted G. Again, that's one of those tricks that everybody does, but you just don't see people talk about it enough, you know? All right, so the lick is going to start off with the B string on fret number 17, doing a whole step bend, like this. A whole step bend means that I'm taking a note and transforming it into the note a whole step above it. In other words, 2 frets there by doing a bend. I'm taking this note and making it sound like this note by bending it. So it's starting out with a whole step bend, just like that. Now you're going to be able to use these 2 fingers to execute the bend. Don't just make one finger try to do all the work. Go ahead and fret the note with the ring finger and put the middle finger right behind it on the same string to help you push that string up a little bit. As you do that bend, you'll see it slip out from my bar. See how it escaped my pointer finger right there? That's normal. That's what you really want out of this. You don't want the pointer finger grabbing it and holding it in place while these fingers are trying to bend it. So it's okay to let it slip out from under your finger like that. Okay, but again, that muting is what's keeping that G string from ringing out like that. Let's keep that in mind. So the lick is going to go like this here. 17th fret B string with a whole step bend. 14th fret high E. 17th fret B. 14th fret B. Now, while I'm going from the high E string 14 back to that 17th fret B, you want to be careful not to let those notes ring into each other like this. Hear how awful that sounds. So whenever you go from this note to this note, you want to relax that pointer finger just a little bit, enough to where that note dies. Again, I'm not jumping off. That makes noise. I'm just taking my finger and relaxing it, emptying it out, as I've said in other videos. So we got 17th fret B string, whole step bend, 14th fret high E, 17th fret B, 14th fret B. After that, you're going to do the exact same thing again. So it turns out like this. The next part of the lick, we're going to grab the 17th fret high E string and do a bend there. It's going to be exactly the same lick, but instead of bending the B string, we're going to bend the high E string. Okay? So we're going to bend the 17th fret high E string a whole step, 14th fret E, 17th fret B, 14th fret B. So that means we got this so far. And after that, you're going to cap it off with another 17th fret B whole step bend. That's a great bend to end on because he's basically bending it up to the root note of the scale, the F sharp note. You could look at it as this note or this note, whatever works for you. But he's bending up to the root. Always a good strong choice at the end of a lick. So once again, here's it with the timing. 1, triplet, 2, triplet, 3, triplet, 4. 1, triplet, 2, triplet, 3, triplet, 4. Just like that. And that's how that entire lick is going to go. One more thing too, if you want to keep it super mega clean, be sure to palm mute everything above the B and E strings back here with the right hand. So in other words, my E string is palm muted, my A string is muted, my D string is muted, my G string is palm muted, my B string isn't, and my high E string isn't. That's just going to ensure that everything turns out super mega clean. You're already helping it stay clean by doing that bar thing, but by doing the palm muting, you're going to get it double muted, double clean. Super sick. Let's check out the right hand and talk about some of the picking options. Ooh! Right hand wise, this couldn't be more simple. It's just straight up alternate picking. The benefit of alternate picking it is that your downstroke is always going to land on the bend, you know? So it'll give that bend a good, strong, powerful pick attack. So it should sound like this. Down, up, then again, down, up. Same thing here. Down, up, and then down. Again, just straight up alternate picking like that, starting with the downstroke. Pretty simple stuff. So if you're just some dingus of a musician, what you'll do is to take these licks and learn them and hope it'll get you chicks somehow. It's probably not going to happen. However, if you're a smart musician, which is what I want you to be, you'll take somebody else's licks, like what you learned today, and try to inject some of your own personality into it, you know? Try messing around with that lick and let's say maybe alternating the bends from the B string to the E string. Now it's not Marty Friedman's lick anymore, it's your lick. You know, taking somebody else's ideas and kind of, chewing them up and spitting them out as your own thing is how we all kind of start to develop our ideas as players, you know? You could also take maybe the 16th fret here on the G string, throw some bends in there, you know? That note in the scale. That sounds cool. Paris Hilton just called and said, "That's hot." So like I said, any of these ideas that we do on Weekend Wankshop, just take them and mold them into your own personality. It's not about learning my licks or Marty Friedman's licks or whatever. It's about taking these things as concepts and make them into your own thing. So there you go, Suckamaniacs, another tasty lick to keep you busy this week. Be sure to make a video of you playing this week's lick and upload it to Instagram. Hashtag it Weekend Wankshop so I can check it out. You can also tag me on my personal Instagram account at Ben Eller Guitars. Follow me on Twitter as well, at Ben Eller Guitars, and keep up with my antics and hijinks. Stick around for another lick next week, and be sure to drop me a message and ask about setting up some times for some one-on-one Skype lessons. I'd love to work with you. Anyway, stay tuned. Happy shredding. Have a good week.